Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daytona. Fourth season of the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series here, and it's hosted on NASCAR Heat 5 on the PlayStation 4 consoles. We have 20 drivers lined up and ready to go, and in fact, they're logging laps right now. We're on lap 5 here for the 4th annual Tailgate 250. On NASCAR Heat 5, I'm Tyler McMurder, NOSSCAR CEO, alongside in-race reporter, former NOSSCAR Dirt Touring Series race winner, Tyler Wagner. And we're setting you up and getting you strapped in for live flag-to-flag coverage of the Tailgate 250 at Daytona. Tyler, thanks very much for joining us and doing this with us.
Oh man, anytime. I love doing this stuff.
You're a little bit mired in traffic at this time, but it's Daytona. The draft is strong. You have a lot of laps. It's a 100-lap event. What are your strategies? What are your plans? What do you think that we're going to see in tonight's Tailgate 250?
Hopefully, I hope everybody's patient, takes their time, but you know how good is Daytona? Someone slips up, you want to take it. And I'm just hoping to avoid the big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the bottom of 1 and 2.
I saw that, actually. We do have a truck slow near the bottom of 1 and 2. I couldn't quite see who it was in time before they started rolling again. Never mind, it's actually Alex Tesdahl driving for Steel Horse Motorsports. They bring a very stacked team of Ford F-150s for the 2021 season. And yeah, he's slow still below the yellow line, getting back up to speed on the back straightaway. And I didn't see what happened to him, but he's still going. So there's a shot to win this one later on in this. As long as he stays on the lead lap, we will see pit stops throughout this one. And we're working stage 1 right now. The field a little bit spread right now, back towards the front. It's Josh Cole-Diaz, the pole sitter, out front leading the way. And the number 23 Chevy Silverado. He's got the 51 Toyota Tundra. I'm used to saying Toyota Supra, following the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Right behind him, and that is Jeffrey Robinson Jr., former NOSSCAR Supercross champion. He's got Timmy Brown in the 8 just behind him. Cameron Norton in the 3 behind him, and that's the top 4. They're beginning to spread themselves out from the rest of the field just a little bit. And leading the second pack is Robert Lohman Sr., former NOSSCAR Street Tech Series winner on GTA 5. He's running in 5th in that pink and white Chevy Silverado, number 21. Number 40 of Beam SKP runs in 6th. Driver out of France. The only French driver to be racing full-time here this season in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. This is his debut race in this series. Rob Oglesby just behind him in the blue number 68. He runs in 7th. And Daniel McGriff right there in 8th in the 13. More problems for Alex Tesdahl. He was slow going through the grass, and that was closer towards the entrance to pit road. Excuse me, it was actually Jesse Carlson. Those two trucks having very similar paint jobs.
We got a record for finish.
And
oh, yellow 98 in this place?
yeah, it's the 88. We were following him here. You're right. It's Jesse Carlson. Huh. And I didn't see what happened, but he's getting it back up to speed. He's keeping it off the race surface. There's a couple of trucks coming behind him, and he sees them. But yeah.
I think he clipped the apron and spun it out, coming out of the door.
Oh, very easy to do, as you would know. You've spent some time here on the asphalt.
Yeah, I raced a little bit of the Xfinity series when it first started up.
Great to have you back, making your debut here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. New name, new game, folks.
It's not dirt no more.
Yeah. Really impressed with the front 4 pulling away. Timac Motorsports Chevys are off to a good start. It's the Steel Horse Motorsports Fords that are having a tough time here early in the going, and we're getting a report that Alex Tesdahl has pulled his Ford F-150 off the racetrack, and he is done for the night. Having problems under the hood, overheating issues, we're hearing. And a change for the lead. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 takes the lead. Josh Cole-Diaz gets shuffled to the back of this 4-truck pack. Timmy Brown quietly moves up into second. Cameron Norton followed through, and he's into third in the 3. And the 23, Josh Cole-Diaz back to fourth. Don't count him out, though. Anything can happen, especially here at Daytona. Cameron Norton making a move to the outside now. Teammate going with him.
I don't know who it is behind me pushing me, but they're doing a good job.
Battling all over this racetrack. Deeper in the field, there's Nick Don Francesco driving the number 24. He just made a pass on Rob Oglesby in the 68 machine, and they just went around. I believe that was Beam SKP, but it looked like he was a little bit out of shape coming out of that corner. And no, it was actually Jason Armstrong in the 15, driving for Steel Horse Motorsports, and lost the draft with that group, but he's got a group just behind them that's going to really help him out. That is led by in-race reporter Tyler Wagner and 6-time NOSSCAR champion Jordan Green in the 00 just behind him.
That's his.
Yes, sir. He started back on NASCAR 15 on the PlayStation 3 console, back where NOSSCAR began. He's got one heck of a... He's got one heck of a resume, Jordan Green does. 448 starts, 95 wins, 267 top 5s, 358 top 10s, 139 poles, 6 championships. He knows how to get it done here in NOSSCAR, and he's made one heck of a name for himself here. Now they've just found Jason Armstrong. You always wonder what they're going to do, if they're going to fly by and let him hitch a ride at the back, or if they're going to just lift and kind of push that truck and have him be at the front of it. And they're going to let Jason Armstrong lead this 4-truck charge and see if they can make some headway on the group in front of him. Back towards the front, they're still really trying to figure out who's going to lead this thing. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51, Timmy Brown in the 8, Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23, Cameron Norton in the 3. Josh Cole-Diaz running in third. The pole sitter had a breakout performance on NASCAR Heat 4, winning races in 4 of the 5 NOSSCAR leagues hosted on NASCAR Heat games. And here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series, he has 30 starts under his belt with 1 win, 4 top 5s, 16 top 10s. He's got a pretty good resume, and he's looking to add a Tailgate 250 win to it as well. We're guaranteed a first-time NOSSCAR Tailgate 250 winner. And Cameron Norton making a big move to the bottom. He's looking for the race lead. He's looking to lead a lap here at Daytona. He's got less help, but he's still going to make it happen. What a move. Cameron Norton takes the lead at Daytona. Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Juicy J Motorsports, Toyota, falls in behind him. And Josh Cole-Diaz is going to sit in third. Timmy Brown in the 8 has dropped to 4th. They're all right there still in the draft, of course, and they're showing the lead back and forth, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Cameron Norton's been around in NOSSCAR since NASCAR Heat 3. He's a former winner in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series. He's never found victory lane here, though, in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Looking to change that here tonight, but he's going to lose the lead just as quick as he got it. Right back to Jeffrey Robinson Jr. And now green flag pit stops are going to happen here. They're going to begin. And this is all scheduled, folks, here in stage 1. Chris Ryan and the 2 came in as well, just in front of the race leaders, but every truck in the top 4, all 4 of those guys just came down pit road, as well as Daniel McGriff in the 13. Looks like Robert Lohman Sr. in the 21 is on pit road as well. He was in the top 5 earlier in this race. Rob Oglesby and Natro in the 32 truck on pit road as well. Bradley Gilliland in the 74. Everybody coming down for service. The pit crews are earning the paychecks here today. Here comes Beam, number 40 truck coming down pit road. Now he lost the draft earlier in the race, but then again, so did a couple of these others, and it's going to be interesting to see where everybody cycles through back on the track. It's going to really depend on and matter on if you have a drafting partner, a dancing partner for the rest of this stage. Now we're going to throw it down to in-race reporter Tyler Wagner to find out how many laps are remaining here in stage 1.
Let me cross the line here and I'll let you know. Oh, we're on lap 17, 20, so there's 3 laps to go.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, when you hit the line this time, 3 to go, and therefore 3 to go already for the race leader. Who do you have as the race leader?
Napa fans up front with me in second. We haven't pitted yet.
Ah, okay, very good. Well, pit road closes with 2 laps to go, so if you guys can't make it the entire distance, then you'll need to pit before then. If not, then you really got to just chance it and risk it for the biscuit at that point.
What? I got pit this time around?
Only if you think you can't make it the distance, that's for sure. I wonder if Napa fan's going to do the same. That's Nick DonFrancesco. 22 starts, 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 13 top 10s for Nick DonFrancesco in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. And coming out of 4, he's going to keep his truck on the track. So I guess that means that he's going to risk it and he's going to go the distance. 2 laps to go in stage 1. Coming out of turn 4, this time by, he's going to see the white flag. 1 more lap to go here in stage 1 for Nick DonFrancesco. Looking to stretch the fuel as far as he can and pick up a stage win. Looking for his 4th career stage win here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. When he's lifted a lot, he's riding around the inside of the track, the shortest way around the racetrack. He's well off the pace by this point, and there's trucks behind him as well, but I don't believe that they're going to get to him, even if he starts to coast. I think deeper in the field there actually is a truck maybe trying to do the same type of strategy, because there was a truck slowing back there in the back straightaway, a white one. Yeah, it's Tyler Wagner. See if we can go back up towards the front here and see if Nick's going to make it. He does, folks. Just barely. Nick DonFrancesco is going to win stage 1 here at Daytona. 4th career stage win here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. The 4 truck was trying desperately to run him down at the end to get one of his laps back, but he was unable to do it. You able to take a picture of the top 5 in the stage for me, maybe with a cell phone or a screenshot on your PS4?
Take a picture of what? The top what?
Top 5 in the stage. Or you could just say them out loud.
Here, I'll tell you here then.
Okay. You gotta be quick before they go away, though.
Oh, I have it right here when I go to pit. I got a picture of it.
Alright, awesome. Now these drivers are going to have an opportunity to pit for 4 tires.
Fuck! Sorry about my language, I just pushed the wrong button.
Oh no. You still in the race?
No, I just backed all the way out of it.
Oh no. How did that even happen? Were you on the pause menu somehow?
Yeah, it popped me to my pause menu. And when I backed out of the share play stuff, it kicked me out.
Oh, you didn't need to do that. All you needed to do was hold the share button.
No, I have mine set up different for doing live broadcasting.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, man.
That is what it is.
I didn't think that that was going to happen whatsoever. Now I feel like a jerk. I got to continue with the broadcast. The green flag's back in the air. Stage 2 has begun for the 4th annual Tailgate 250, and we're down an in-race reporter, folks. And I feel terrible about it. But Nick Donfrancesco leads. Josh Colm-Diaz, Timmy Brown running 2nd and 3rd. Jordan Green, 6-time champ, has found his way all the way up into the top 5 for the first time in this race. The 3 of Cameron Norton. Rounding out the top 5 is the only truck working to the outside right now. I'm not sure if that was by choice or not. SKP is going to fill the gap, and he's going to take over that spot. And yeah, Tyler, I apologize, buddy. We can, yeah, you can go ahead and leave if you like, or I'm not sure, man. I apologize. Well, that's one that I'm going to have to live with forever. It's getting slicey and dicey towards the front. The front group is a big group of trucks, over 10 of them. And it's Nick Donfrancesco leading the way. He won stage 1. He's got his teammate right there behind him in 2nd, and he won the pole. So a couple of fast trucks at the front of the field. Keep an eye on Timmy Brown and that white number 8. It's a Ford F-150, and it is. He's running in 3rd. He's been in the top 5 pretty much all race long since the drop of the green flag. And there's a few other trucks making their way towards the front that have not been there all race long, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to use the draft, what line they decide to go with, and see where they end up. Daniel McGriff in the 13 is going to go to the inside, and it looks like Beam SKP is going to go to the outside. Josh Colm-Diaz is going to go with them. The 4 Toyota is going to go up there and try to make some speed as well. 4 truck driven by Dave Marks Jr., driver in the NOSSCAR Elite National Series over on iRacing. Competing full-time here in the Tailgate Truck Series. Had a ride lined up for Motormaster Monday, but schedule is conflicting for him in another league, and he's unable to do that one. Looking good here in the 4th annual Tailgate 250, though. He just worked his way inside of the 24 truck. Nick Donfrancesco now slips all the way to the back of this pack. He's no longer your race leader, and it's Timmy Brown out front and leading the way here in the Tailgate 250. Former Brickyard 200 winner for the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. He's yet to win a race here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. 28 starts, 7 top 10s in his NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series career. And he'd love to put a tally in the win column, especially here in the Tailgate 250. This is the big one of the season. Outside line now getting a bit of momentum, and that's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 jumping up there with Cameron Norton in the 3. So about 12-13 trucks in this lead pack, and Any one of them has a chance to win this stage. We think that everybody's going to be able to make it all the way to the end of the stage without having to make a pit stop, but it's going to be close, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Timmy Brown, Jordan Green, Daniel McGriff, Cameron Norton, Beam SKP, the top 5. Oh, problems deeper in the field. Nick Donfrancesco bounced off of a couple of other trucks. That's Jeff Brady in the 82 that was involved. And around went Donfrancesco. There you see him, and he's out of harm's way now, but a moment ago he was spun and in front of pretty much about half the field. And a lot of them were lucky to avoid the number 24. And he's rolling again and going. Pretty much back up to speed at this point. Meanwhile, back up front, Timmy Brown still leads. There's a couple of trucks trying the outside, see if they can get it to work. It's Beam SKP in the 40s. He's got no help now, though. He had one truck behind him that looked like they were going to see it through with him, but it all changes pretty quick, and you run the risk of getting hung out to dry and getting put all the way at the back of the pack, and I'm going to start all over. Only 9 trucks now in this lead pack. 20 drivers started this race, a 100-lap event here at Daytona on NASCAR Heat 5. Thank you very much to all the fans that are joining us for the 4th annual Tailgate 250. We're glad you're with us, and we're happy to be back for another season. How about Daniel McGriff? He's going to make a move to the outside, looking for the race lead. Cameron Norton's going with him. The outside line, getting some steam. Daniel coming off a top 10 in the Motormaster Series race last night at Auto Club Speedway. Looking to keep that momentum going. There's 4 or 5. Now there's 5 trucks going to the outside. Chris Ryan, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Josh Colm-Diaz are all going up there. And this might be the time where you see it work, folks. They've got a lot of steam heading into turn 1. Daniel's up alongside Jordan, the second truck in line on the bottom. And another strong straightaway, and might be able to get up to the leader, but now Cameron Norton goes to the bottom. Josh Colm-Diaz does the same. They're all going to abandon Daniel McGriff, and he's hung out to dry on the outside. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this at home or not, but Chris Ryan and the 2 definitely lifted there to let Daniel back in line. And whoa, there's problems now. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 goes around, coming out of turn 4. There was contact with the outside wall. Now, Daniel McGriff in the 13 got a piece of it, but it looked like it was Cameron Norton that got out of shape just in front of those guys that maybe triggered all of this.
Dang, that's a big upset for him.
Joining us in the broadcast booth now, Jesse Carlson, NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series driver, as well as Tailgate Truck Series driver. Yeah, that was a big one. And now Josh is no longer in the pack. He does not have the draft. He's nowhere in sight. Let's see if we can check in on him, and that's a tough break for the pole sitter. He's now actually on pit road, getting service.
And that lead back's coming. Leaves me alone.
Josh leaving pit road in the 23s, stays below the yellow line at a harm's way, getting back up to speed, so this will put Josh 1 lap down, but I don't think that there are many trucks a lap down right now. As long as he can get up to speed quick enough, maybe find a drafting partner, he should get the free pass and get back on the lead lap for the final stage. It's Timmy Brown leading, Jordan Green in second, Cameron Norton runs in third. It kind of looks like Cameron's having connection issues right now.
Seemed like a taxi is around. About ran into NASCAR King on the backstretch. That was weird.
Hey, you're right. Daniel McGriff slow on the back straightaway. He was up towards the outside wall. There's some damage to the front of the Ford F-150. It doesn't appear that he's...
Popeye was in the... No, go ahead.
It doesn't appear that he's actually around anybody at this point, so he's out of harm's way. I think we're going to stay green for the rest of the duration of this stage unless something big happens towards the front. There's a big pack working together here, though. Jeff Grady in the 82, Rob Oglesby in the 68. They're trying to keep up with this 4-truck pack just in front of them, and they are. And Natro's the leader of this pack. Oh, contact was made. Beam SKP goes to the inside of Natro.
Yeah, Popeye was in the wall in the middle of turn 3. Hold on.
They're still bouncing off each other here. This is a battle for position. Stage 2, the Tailgate 250. Rob's going to go to the outside, but he's going to lose a couple of spots. Natro's having a couple of connection issues. That 32 seems to be jumping all over the place. And Beam SKP and Jeff Grady in the 82 are trying desperately to get away from that truck. So some problems here going on with Natro, and it's disrupting these guys from having a good battle for position here. You can see that they're all lifting to get some distance in between themselves and that 32 machine. Hopefully that all sorts itself out. Back up at the front, Timmy Brown, Jordan Green, Cameron Norton, 1, 2, 3. Timmy Brown closing in on what would be his first career stage win here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Jordan Green's been glued to the back bumper, to the tailgate of that truck. Timmy Brown, it doesn't appear that he's going to try to make a move anytime soon. Might be just waiting until there's only a handful of corners left to do it. That's what I would do as a driver. But time will tell. Timmy Brown leads the way here in stage 2. Now, Jesse, the thing is, these guys know that they have a caution coming up here at the end of stage 2. They know that they're going to have another chance to get back close together and be in the draft and have a shot at being the race leader and winning this thing. What do you need to do to get yourself good track position in the final stage? What kind of decisions do you need to make?
Well, what I would make is just be careful when on the corners. For me, I'm outside and everything. It's kind of hard for me to hold a line, so yeah, just make sure to hold your line. Don't snake. Save if you want to or need to, and yeah, don't make risky moves.
It was a big risky
Save
move
those
there.
for the end.
Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 had a scary moment. Found the grass a little bit, but he was able to hold on to it and keep going. He might lose. No, never mind. He's right there with him still. He's not going to lose the draft with this pack. That's a good thing. Yeah, we're going to keep our eye here on this battle. It's the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The top 3 have really separated themselves from the rest of the field. 20 drivers started this race, and we're down to having 17 trucks left on the racetrack. I believe 15 of them are on the lead lap. And it's Josh Colm-Diaz that's in the free pass spot right now in the number 23. Now, the interesting part about this battle here is that the top 5 are the drivers that get the stage points, and only 2 of these 5 drivers that you see in your frame are going to be awarded stage points. So they're going to start battling pretty soon here, which is saying something because they've already been going at it for quite some time. And
I think there's a stage end.
You're right.
Duking won that.
It's the final lap, so it's going to be Rob winning this 5-truck battle here, and he's going to take 4th in the stage. That was fun to watch, but yes, you're right. Timmy Brown wins stage 2 with Jordan Green in 2nd, Cameron Norton in 3rd, Rob Oglesby in 4th, Jeff Grady rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, good job for them.
Yeah, those stage points really add up, and they really help you make the playoffs, and especially if you're in a pinch towards the latter stages of the regular season and you need points badly. Sometimes it's best to let it all hang loose somehow and get those stage points.
Well, now we're going to be able to see dramatic racing towards the end, if they can stay together. Who knows where the big one is?
Last opportunity under caution, at least for now anyways, to make pit stops and take on tires, make some adjustments, put a piece of tape on the grill if you're running cold, take a piece off if you're running hot. Green flag back in the air. You're watching the 4th annual NOSSCAR Tailgate 250, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. We're glad you're with us. Kick back and enjoy the show. Who's going to win it? We're going to find out.
And I see, if you haven't saw Popeye blew a tire or something heavily damaged in the pits.
I'll get to that in a moment here. I'm trying to keep an eye on the battle for the lead. They're all shaking it up. The bottom line is going to prevail more. Cameron Norton goes to the bottom, and he's going to slide into 4th there. Now it's Harold Burden going down to the inside. Natro's going to do the same. The outside line is going to have to completely regroup if anything's going to happen up there anytime soon. Jordan Green, 6-time NOSSCAR champion, leads the way in the 00. Timmy Brown right behind him in 2nd. And it's Rob Oglesby running in 3rd. There's a good look at Rob in the 68 machine. And
51 down. Got shoved or something.
Ooh, you're right. That was close. That was scary. That's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. He's going to come back up onto the racetrack, and he did lift quite a bit there to make sure that he didn't run anyone over when he did that. So that was a good move by him there. Pardon me. And I didn't see exactly how Rob got to the outside. I'm not sure if he made a move up there for the lead or if he kind of got shoved out there. But he's regretting it because he's losing a couple of spots now. He's going to drop from 3rd to, I think he's going to go back into the 8th position if he can slide in line right there. And he almost did, but there was going to be contact between himself and Josh Colm-Diaz, so he thought better of it. Still Jordan Green leading with Timmy Brown in 2nd, but now it's Harold Burden up in 3rd. And that number 56 truck. Harold's been driving since NASCAR 15 here in NOSSCAR. In fact, so is Jordan Green, who's leading this race. And Timmy Brown in the number 8 machine has been driving with us since NASCAR Heat 2. So long-time NOSSCAR drivers running in the top 3 right now.
Whoa. 82 and 23 having a little difficulty. Saw 23 get shoved down into the grass a little.
It's a good battle there between those two, but if they keep it up, they're going to lose the draft with the top 7 or 8 trucks here. It's going to happen in the blink of an eye if they don't get her going. Now Jordan's still the leader. They're lining up at the top again. Timmy Brown, Jeff Grady. Jeff Grady's been racing with us since NASCAR Heat 2 as well, that red truck. And Timmy Brown goes up into the wall. There's contact with Jeff Grady. Rob Oglesby had nowhere to go. And it's a big wreck over there in 1 and 2. Damage seems to be minor to both trucks. Excuse me, it was actually 3 and 4. But the damage seems to be minor to both trucks. They're getting back up to speed now, but they are well off the pace and out of the draft at this point.
Yeah, big sad for them. No caution came out.
And that's what they needed too, and they'll still need one at this point. The top 7 have broken away from the rest of the field. It's the 4 truck leading the second group, and that's Dave Marks Jr. He runs in 8th, but we're keeping an eye on the battle for the lead up here with these 7 trucks. It's crazy to see Nick Francesco all the way back up inside the top 5. He had problems earlier. Remember, he had that spin back in stage 2, I believe it was. Lost all that track position, and already here he is up there with a shot to win the Tailgate 250, and he knows how to win these NOSSCAR races. He's found victory lane 2 times in his NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series career. It could be a big one if he can do it here at Daytona. Nobody really trying to make a move at this point. 74, it's Bradley Gilliland. He runs in the 3rd position. He every now and then it's him that I keep thinking is going to make a move to the outside and try to make a run on Harold Burden and Jordan Green, but he's yet to do that. Jeff Grady's the one right behind him, and the thing with this, it's Nick Francesco that's right behind him. The thing with this is you never know who's going to go with you, and you never know if you're going to get held out to dry and lose all that track position that you just worked so hard to get in the first place, all because you wanted a little more. You could ride right now and just kind of log laps and wait until the end to make your big moves, but time will tell. We'll have to see. And now I'm not sure what happened to Beam SKP in the 40. It looked like he's the truck at the tail of this top 7 group, but he might be joining the second pack here in a moment. I didn't see exactly how, but he might lose the draft here with the front runners. And there's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51, Timmy Brown in the 8. It's Jeff Grady just in front of him in the 82. They're going to run him down in a couple of laps, and they're all going to probably work together. And it's a shame to see all 3 of them not up there battling for the lead, because all 3 of them have been up there battling for the lead for most of this race. Timmy Brown has led a lot of laps in this one, and he won stage 2.
Oh, there's a second line forming up in the main pack.
You're
3 cars
right.
on the outside.
Good call, Jesse. Yeah, and Nick Francesco pulls to the outside. Daniel McGriff goes with him. They had more help behind them from Josh Coldiez, but he goes to the inside, and he's going to push Beam in the 40 instead.
They better start hopping back in line if they don't want to lose that draft. They had it, but it just wasn't enough.
That's what I was just thinking, yeah. Top 3 actually started to drive away when they started lining up and battling side by side. So, yeah, that was interesting there. It doesn't take too much. It's kind of nerve-wracking when you're out there on the track and suddenly you realize you might be losing the draft with the leaders. I like this, though. I really like this. They're all making moves on each other. They're all trying to make a couple of passes here and there to inch their way that much closer to the win. We're in the final stage. 4th annual NOSSCAR Tailgate 250, NASCAR Heat 5. Glad you're with us. And I'm getting more and more excited as the laps wind down. Who's going to win this one? We keep mentioning Jordan Green, the current race leader, is a 6-time NOSSCAR champion. All of those championships came back on NASCAR 15 on the PlayStation 3 console. He has 95 NOSSCAR wins, 94 of which were on NASCAR 15. He found victory lane in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series in the 2020 season. Still winless here in trucks, but he's looking to change that here tonight. A little bit deeper in the field, Jason Armstrong in the 15, Cameron Norton in the 3, Natro in the 32, Dave Marks Jr. in the 4. They're working together to keep themselves from losing any more further time to the race leaders. The only thing that's kind of going for these smaller packs scattered around the racetrack that are not up front with the leaders, the lead pack is getting smaller. They're down to 7 trucks in the lead group. If a couple of more maybe lose the draft, then some of these other groups might be able to work their way closer if they're able to draft better and more efficiently and find more speed that way. But that's really the only hope that they have, other than a caution coming out. And we've been lean, mean, and clean and green since the drop of the green flag in this one. No cautions for on-track incidents. The only yellows we've seen in this one were for the ends of stage 1 and stage 2, so having a caution come out is unlikely, especially now that all these trucks are scattered around the racetrack, or at least a little bit more spread.
Oh boy, Nature has some problems and he just disappeared off the backstretch.
You're right, problems for Natro. There he is, he's parked on pit road, and an engine failure is what we're hearing for the driver of the 32, and that's a shame. He came in here with a lot of fire and confidence, and very talented driver, brought to us by Chris Ryan. But yeah, his night is done. He was running inside the top 10 when that happened. Quick recap for you. Jordan Green runs in the lead, Harold Burden in second, Bradley Gitteland in third, Beam, driver out of France, runs in fourth, Daniel McGriff in fifth. Running in the sixth position, Josh Colm-Diaz after getting the free pass and getting back onto the lead lap at the end of stage 2. And then it is Nick Don Francesco in the 24 who runs in seventh. They are the top 7 running there nose to tail for the most part. Contact made there between Beam and Bradley Gitteland in the 74. There was some daylight left there to the inside of Bradley Gitteland. Beam put the front bumper of that truck there, put his nose there, and contact was made, and there was nearly a big moment up here in the lead group. And now those 7 drivers have about a full straightaway lead over this 3-truck group. Jason Armstrong, Cameron Norton, and Dave Marks Jr., they run in 8th, 9th, and 10th, and they're trying desperately to make something happen. They're pushing each other to no end. hoping to somehow run down that top 7, or maybe even hope that a caution comes out and we can have another crack at this one. But until then, this is what the battle for the win looks like for the 4th annual Tailgate 250. We're going to take a short break from commentary, but the action is going to stay on your screen. Thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in and joining us for the 4th annual Tailgate 250. And the battle for the lead is on your screen. You're watching NOSSCAR on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. And bringing you back full commentary now. As you saw moments ago, green flag pit stops were underway, and these were scheduled ones. And I think that they are the only pit stops these drivers will have to make in the final stage. The lead group has changed, but only a little bit. It's Daniel McGriff leading the way in the number 13 truck, and he's got Bradley Gilland in the 74, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, Nick Donfrancesco in the 24, Jordan Green, the 00 rounding out the top 5. It's Beam in the 40, right there in 6th. The only truck that's not in the lead pack anymore that was up there battling for the lead. I believe there's one missing. It's Harold Burton in the 56, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's Harold. Harold was up there fighting with these guys for the win here in the Tailgate 250. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. He's in the second group, and that before the cycle of pit stops, that was Jason Armstrong, Cameron Norton, and Dave Marks Jr. Now Dave is nowhere to be found, and it's Harold Burton running there in 9th position with Cameron Norton and Jason Armstrong in front of him running 8th and 7th. And this is what I was talking about, Jesse. The lead group is getting a little bit smaller, but the laps are winding down. So I don't think that any of these other groups that are drafting around the track have enough time to get there. So really the only thing that they can hope for is a caution. If not, it's going to be one of these 6 drivers walking away the victor here tonight.
Yeah, what they'll have to do is just fight for that position in that little pack of theirs. That's all they have.
And that's pretty much it. And out of the bottom goes Josh Colm-Diaz.
Oh, 74 almost up on the wall.
There was contact. Yeah, the 23, 74 bounced off each other.
Oh, boy.
A couple of drivers taking evasive action. They're going below the yellow line. Jordan may not have wanted to do that. He's going to try to stay in the draft.
And risking risky moves. Oh, and just got chopped by 74.
Yeah, well, Josh was looking for second there, and I don't know if he was completely clear or not, but Bradley came back over towards him, and there was contact made for sure.
Chop, chop.
And Bradley went back up towards the outside wall and everything, and now Jordan Green got a monster run to the outside on Beam in the 40, but no hole opened up on the bottom, so I don't think he's going to gain a position from this. He's going to fall back in line to where he was. Man, good action all over the racetrack, but really the best action is what you're looking at, folks, and it's the battle for the lead and for the win here at Daytona. Daniel McGriff leading the way. Daniel looking for his first career NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win in the number 13. Driving for Steel Horse Motorsports, and they've had their share of bad luck in this one, so it'd really be a feel-good story if Daniel could bring home the win for that team. He's the lone Ford in this pack up here. Timmy Brown was up there battling for the lead for quite some time, and now since then he's fallen outside the top 10, so it's come down to Daniel McGriff when it comes to the Ford teams. Pardon me. Whoa, Jordan Green gets really loose coming out of turn 2, and he did it all by himself, and he wasn't near anybody when it happened, thankfully. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe a tire going down, or... the truck just got away from him a little bit there. He's all right, though. Checking in on Rob Oglesby, driver for Rockstar Racing. Was up there leading laps at one point in this race, and now he's got no dancing partner here in the final stage. He's got a pack of trucks coming behind him, though, that might be able to work with him.
Yeah, a little two-truck tandem coming.
One of them is his teammate, and that's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51, so there's help on the way for Rob. Oh, back up to the front.
24,
That was close. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 24 got out of shape, went down on the apron, and he came back up the track towards Beam in the 40, but it could have been a lot worse. I think that Josh lifted a little bit there to make sure he didn't slam the left side of Beam's truck. But as a result, these three just might have, they might have lost the draft. They might have did themselves in. they're going to really need to dig deep and work together if they're going to drive back towards these top three. And it looks like it's going to be the pair of Beam and Jordan Green that are going to try to do it. Josh Colm-Diaz has lost the draft. It can all change in the blink of an eye, folks, and the top three have now run away with this thing. Excuse me, actually, it's Nick Donfrancesco who lost the draft, and it's Josh Colm-Diaz who's up here battling for the lead. The 23 and the 24 are mixing me up here a little bit, so Josh is still in the hunt for the win, and Nick, his luck has went from good to bad here.
That changed everything.
And did it ever. It leaves Daniel and Bradley and Josh to battle for the win unless somehow, some way, Beam and Jordan can work together to run them down. The top two drivers are looking for their first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. Josh Colm-Diaz looking for his second one of those. 4 of the 5 drivers running in the top 5 are actually looking for their first truck win, so it's a big moment for a lot of these drivers that are up towards the front. And I was just checking in on a pair here of Beam and Jordan Green. It almost looks like they're losing some ground to the top 3. They're not getting any of the ground back that they lost, and the gap is increasing. It's growing.
Yeah, if only Napa fan was there to push, they would probably have a chance, but
he was a lot closer.
Went out the window.
Yeah, he was a lot closer to them when they first started trying to run down the top 3 again, and they maybe could have lifted and got him involved. They would have lost more time initially to the top 3, but it might have been what saved them. Well, it's a little late for that, though, now, because they would really need to lift a lot to get Nick Donfrancesco in line with them. 20 trucks started this race, and I believe we have 15 of them left on the racetrack. A couple of engine failures here in this one, but we have not had a single caution for an on-track incident. Mean, clean and green since the drop of this one. It's round 1 of the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season, bringing you the first few races early in the 2020 calendar. It's always a full plate for NASCAR in a calendar year, so we always do our best to cram it in, and cram a lot in at that, and we tend to bring you the first few Motormaster and truck races early. It's become a bit of a tradition. Jason Armstrong, Cameron Norton, Harold Burden, they're still inside the top 10. They're working together. They're working together really well, too. But they don't have time. I don't think they have enough laps to run down anybody else before the end of this one. There's a few trucks in front of them that don't have drafting partners. And there's the pair of Beam and Jordan Green, of course, but they're way out there. I don't think that these 3 are going to have enough time to capitalize on the opportunity they have. The next truck for them to catch would be Nick Donfrancesco. He's completely by himself. They might be able to pull it off. Meanwhile, up front, it got really interesting for a split second there. You can tell the laps are winding down. The anticipation is building. Bradley Gilliland took a look to the inside of Daniel McGriff. He couldn't quite do it. Josh Colm-Diaz took a look to the outside of Bradley there and then tucked back in line. There's a lot of fake outs here. There's only so many ways that you can make this work for yourself, and depending on where you are in line with these three trucks, you got to do something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Now for Daniel, he's the leader. He's going to need to make that truck as wide as he can. He's going to need to block if Bradley makes a move, or if Bradley does get alongside him, he's going to need to side draft him enough to try to kill the momentum and hold on to the lead. And it's going to depend a lot on who Josh Colm-Diaz goes with. Who knows, Jesse? Maybe Josh won't go with either one of them. Maybe he'll make it 3 wide for the win coming to the line. We've seen it before. Three different teams represented. Steel Horse Motorsports, Lone Wolf Motorsports, and Timac Motorsports running 1, 2, 3. Quick update for you here. Jason Armstrong, Cameron Norton, Harold Burton, they've run down Nick Don Francesco. Nick in that black and orange truck, he runs in 6th. These drivers here running 7th, 8th, and 9th, so let's see what they do. They're going to go to the outside. Sometimes you see them use the truck in front of them as the front truck. Sometimes you see them go right by and let them tuck in line at the back of the line, and they're going to do just that, especially here in the closing laps. I'm really not too surprised. But yeah, there they go. So Nick now tucks in line. He will get their draft. It's going to be a 4-truck group working together, and this is what they needed if they wanted to run down the leaders, but they needed it probably about 20 laps ago.
Yeah. Yeah, just backed out and they're at 81 laps out of 100. Still got a long time to go.
81?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was what's closer to the finish. It just hit 82, yeah.
These races are long, man. They're endurance races. 100 laps here tonight at Daytona. And we are now down to under 20 laps to go, and scheduled green flag pit stops beginning here again in the final stage, second wave of them. Beginning with Jason Armstrong, Harold Burton, and Cameron Norton. Rockstar Racing drivers, Dave Marks Jr., Rob Oglesby, they're coming to pit road now. There you see them. Beam in the 40 was on pit road. Bradley Gilliland leaves pit road, but he leaves pit road well in front of Daniel McGriff in the 13. There's Daniel, pretty much a full corner behind. In fact, he comes out of pit road pretty much right in front of Jason Armstrong, Harold Burton, and a few others. This is I wonder if there was a speeding penalty, or I wonder if there's certain pit strategies going on right now, Jesse, because yeah, Daniel's lost a whole bunch of track position here, and Bradley Gilliland has gained a whole lot of track position.
Uh-oh, that's not good. I'm just hopping back in from looking at the laps to go.
I'm trying to, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where everybody else cycles through after all of this, because I think that some penalties took place, or I think that some sort of pit strategy might have been involved for some of these drivers here in the final stage. Nick Donfrancesco in the 24 is somehow going to be in front of Bradley Gilliland after the cycle of pit stops.
Oh, yeah. Guess a 13 did get a penalty. Dang.
I'm thinking so, because he's back there with Jason Armstrong and the drivers that were in the second group, the second pack. But overall, that second pack is a whole lot closer to the leaders than they were before.
Oh, so they might be getting ground.
Well, I know
we gotta move from NASCAR King on the 40 car.
Yeah, that's the battle for the lead. Josh Cole-Diaz takes the lead from Beam. Beam led a couple of laps there, the driver out of France. But now it's Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 back out front. He's the pole sitter, and he's looking to capture the win here tonight. He's one of the faster trucks in the field. Jordan Green right there in third. Definitely some penalties and some pit strategy going on, folks. There's definitely strategy because there's multiple drivers that have really changed where they are in the running order. Some of them have gained ground and they're up here in the lead pack now. Some of them have lost ground and they're in the second pack now. And because of that, it's the second group of trucks that are the faster group, and they're gaining ground on the top three.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're starting to get a whole lot of ground. That pit stop actually literally changed everything.
It really did.
Coming on fast.
It really did. It gave a whole lot of drivers a shot at the win again. This second group of trucks right here. Whoa!
Whoa! No, come on.
And
is that going to cause a big wreck?
It might. Daniel McGriff is around in the 13. He's spinning heavily at the start-finish line area. I saw what happened. Bradley Gilliland made a move to the outside of Nick Donfrancesco. Nick threw a block. Everybody had to check up, and Daniel McGriff had nowhere to go. He got clobbered, and around he went, but we stay green.
Oh, and that is not going to help. That just did not help him at all. That just made him lose like a second or two. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing they needed. It's one less truck in the pack with them that could help them run the top three down. And it's one less fast truck, too. Daniel McGriff has been in the top 5, top 10 since the drop of the green flag in this one. And now he finds himself way behind. And with no more pit stops left in the race, he desperately needs a caution in order to get back up there in the hunt in this one. So there's Nick Donfrancesco. He runs in fourth. It's Jason Armstrong fifth, Bradley Gilliland in sixth, Cameron Norton in seventh, Harold Burden in eighth. They're the ones working together to try to run down your top three. Top three, of course, being led by your race leader, Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 truck. There you see him. Jordan Green, the six-time champion, has worked his way around Beam and into second. And Beam in the number 40 out of France runs in third. Making a big move to the outside right now, actually. Jordan cuts to the inside, though, and he's going to try to keep the draft with the leader, but he can't. Slingshot engage, says Beam, and he's going to take second back from Jordan Green. We have under 15 laps to go in the 4th annual Tailgate 250 at Daytona. These guys are closer than they were before, and there was contact made there between Cameron Norton, Bradley Gilliland, and Bradley went up and hit Jason Armstrong. Jason Armstrong found the wall a little bit. Jason might lose the draft with this group, and man, he's just riding along minding his own business, and now this is a 4-truck group trying to run down the leaders, and that's not at all what they needed. I'm almost certain that having 6 trucks was working for them. They were gaining ground at that point. I'm not sure how much they're going to gain at this point. Meanwhile, back up front, this is what it looks like, folks. They're trading second and third every now and then. Still Beam and Jordan Green are, but it's still Josh Colm-Diaz leading the way in the 23. He's been strong since the drop of the green flag. All three of these drivers have been. I'm thinking that some communication has been passed between these three. They're not... Oh, and there was contact made there. I was about to maybe make a point about these drivers maybe communicating and being on the same page, drafting and keeping themselves much further in front of that second group. And as soon as I was going to do that, Beam made a move to the inside of Josh Colm-Diaz. He does again, and contact is made. Beam is going for the lead. Jordan went high, and he might have just been going high to maybe avoid something he thought was coming, because there was contact made between these two. And Josh is going to prevail and take the lead back, and that was something right there, folks. Jesse made a move, Beam made a move to the inside of Josh. Couldn't quite get it to work. He didn't have the momentum that he needed. And then the next possible chance he had, he made another move. Got his nose there completely this time to the inside of Josh. There was no denying it. And then Josh still tried to close the door just a little bit. Contact was made. It was nearly a big moment here up at the front of the field.
Yeah, another update on the laps. They're at 92 at 100, so they got like 6 or 7 laps to go.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Jesse.
That second pack needs to start going. Get their butts going.
While you stepped away, it went from good to bad for those guys. They were working pretty good together, but then all of a sudden contact started to be made. Bradley Gilliland made a few moves. Nick Donfrancesco threw a few blocks, and before you knew it, Daniel McGriff and several others were no longer in this group. It's now a 3-truck group trying to run down the 3-truck group that's leading this race, and they had a whole lot better of a chance of doing that with the 6-7 than they did the 3.
I think they're just putting too much pressure on themselves. They could have actually gone up. I think it's at 74, making way too much of a risky move. Because if none of this would have happened, they would have gotten up there.
I think you're right. There he is, Bradley Gilliland. Strong all race long. Started getting aggressive here in the final stage. Contact was made a couple of times, and he's paid the price a little bit. Not necessarily every move that he did was his fault, or anyone's fault for that matter. Just hard racing, and it was him making most of those hard racing style of moves, and now you see that sometimes it just doesn't work out. He's not in the draft. He's got Jason Armstrong with him, but they're not up there in contention for the win at this point in the Tailgate 250. We have 6 laps to go at Daytona.
That second pack is coming. They can literally see them right in front of them. Like, they have gotten closer as we speak.
Hey, you're right. And
yeah,
they're really flying up on them, too. The gap is shrinking rapidly. I'm not even trying to exaggerate or jazz this up any. This is about a half a straightaway closed in just a couple of laps. They're going to get there if they can keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't think the top 3 know it's coming. They're probably too busy fighting with each other on the track.
Well, that's definitely been a part of it. In fact, they've swapped the lead again since then. We have a new race leader, folks, with 5 laps to go, or coming around to it, and it's Beam in the 40. Josh Colm-Diaz is running in second, Jordan Green in third. Jordan lost touch with Josh just a little bit there, but this three-truck battle, or three-truck pack behind them is there. Harold Burden in fourth.
Big run.
Yeah, they're going to have a huge run. Harold Burden in the 56 is getting the draft now. He goes to the outside. Josh Colm-Diaz pulls up. Beam's going to pull up.
Oh, snap. Oh, I put 3 wide there for a second.
It almost was. That was a crazy, bold move by Josh. He knew that if it worked out on the top side for them, that he would be the lead truck in that line and he would go to the lead. But it also checked that group up, and now they've got no momentum, and it's just simply a 6-truck battle for the win at Daytona.
They're lucky they got to come back and battle.
This is awesome, though. 20 trucks started the race, 100 laps, caution-free all race long. And at the end of 100 laps, caution-free, 6 drivers are still right on top of each other with a shot to win this one. Didn't see what happened to Harold Burden in the 56, but he got a little bit out of shape there. Back near the start-finish line, I think that he's close enough to stay in the draft, but that was a bit of a close call for him. Josh Colm-Diaz finds himself in 5th now. He's got some work to do before the end of this one. Went around to 3 laps to go this time. And a big move. Nick DeFrancesco goes to the outside. Cameron Norton's going to go with him in the 3. Who else is going to go up there?
No one's wanting to use that high line. Come on, yo.
I'm surprised. Josh Colm-Diaz looked like he was going to go, but then he changed his mind, went to the inside instead. He's back up to 3rd because of that decision. It's crunch time. Final laps here at Daytona. Oh, and around goes Nick DeFrancesco. I saw the whole thing. I was on him. I was watching him. His left side's got on the apron, and he is spun near the exit of 2. He's got to get off the track. There we go. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Nick. He was running in the 6th position up in the lead group when it happened. His hopes of winning the Tailgate 250 have come to an end. And back up front, we're watching the battle for the win. And Beam in the 40 crosses the line to lead this lap. Jordan Green, Josh Colm-Diaz, Harold Burden, Cameron Norton. The 5 of them are going to slug it out for the win.
Well, I think this is their last lap. See, NASCAR can be holding back.
It's going to be a big run by them. They're going to use the outside. There's no way Beam's going to be able to block them. Not right away. He's going to have to watch Jordan Green on the bottom as well. Contact made. They're 3 wide. They bounced off each other. Jordan Green and Beam did. Up top, Josh Colm-Diaz is coming with momentum. They're coming around at a turn 4. Coming to the line. Who's going to win it at Daytona?
Oh, good job, NASCAR King.
Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23.
Well, I wish
with
we
the
had a
power
lap counter.
move, though. Timmy Brown slow to the inside of turns 1 and 2. His race has come to a halt. I didn't see what happened there. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 slow, and we're hearing out of fuel going into 3. Can Josh do it? Can he hold on and win it? Beam is up to the outside. He's got a little bit of help from Jordan Green, but it's not going to be enough. Contact made. They're coming to the line, bouncing off each other. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 wins the Tailgate 250.
Wow, that got crazy.
Oh man, what a race.
Oh yeah.
It was going to come down to the right move at the right time. Josh Colm-Diaz and Beam kept bouncing off each other. They both wanted this one so bad. They both let a lot of laps in this one. Cameron Norton was right there in the fight Jordan Green and Harold Burden. But when the smoke settled, when it was all said and done, it was Josh Colm-Diaz parking in victory lane in the 23.
What a finish. No.
Second career NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win for Josh Colm-Diaz. What a race, folks. 20 drivers, 100 laps, caution-free except for the ends of the stages, and a whole lot of lead changes and different leaders, folks. And despite having no on-track incident yellows, there was a whole lot of on-track action in this one. Wow, congratulations to Josh Colm-Diaz. The Tailgate 250 event is the biggest one of the year. And just so happy that he could pull it off. Now, Jesse, can you do me a favor and invite him into the group chat on PlayStation 4 so he can join this chat?
Yeah, gotcha.
Thanks very much. Fastest lap of the race went to Jeff Grady. Harold Burden with a quick lap as well there. Presets running these trucks. He ran a 47 flat there.
Is there anyone else you want me to add, or just him?
Just him. We'll keep the interviews short tonight.
Alright. Alright, got him.
And we are working our way down to victory lane, and here we find driver of the number 23 Chevy Silverado, Josh Colm-Diaz. You did it, buddy.
I'm balling. I'm Garden.
You just won the 4th annual NOSSCAR Tailgate 250. It's the biggest event of the season. Your name goes on an elite list of names that have won this race. You pulled it off. You parked this number 23 Silverado in victory lane. How were you able to do it?
I was being smart, and I remembered from the race me and you did a couple of years ago. I was like, I'm not letting this happen again. No, I'm not bringing the bridesmaid again.
There was a group of yous there at the end that were really battling hard for this win. You had a good battle with Beam in the 40 and Cameron Norton in the 3 and Harold Burden in the 56. There was so many of yous throughout this race that had a good shot to win, and there was some great drivers that were right there at the end for this one. Take us through those last laps, battling with those guys, and take us through those last laps when you realized when the second pack caught up to you.
I was like, I'm just going to try and work with them. So, because I knew they were going to pass me, so I was like, I'm going to work with my teammates, Napa and Bowman, and work with them. Then we caught the 2 cars. So, and then whenever they got loose, I was able to get into behind Beam, and I was waiting for the pack to come back with my buddy Trouble, and I just timed it right.
The draft was a major factor, obviously being Daytona, and everybody was kind of using the slingshot effect that NASCAR Heat 5 has, where you can go from the back of the pack, slingshot to the outside, and then often a hole will get created on the bottom and you can get in front of somebody. Were you doing a lot of that out there? What did you learn from the draft in this race?
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's fun. It's the draft. I learned a lot for I've been studying this draft a lot, so I learned a lot with the draft. So
yeah, definitely, I can tell, and you put it to great use out there. Congratulations on your Tailgate 250 win.
This is a redemption for the 500.
Absolutely, it is. That was Josh Colm-Diaz, everybody. Driver of the number 23 Chevy Silverado, winning the 2021 Tailgate 250 at Daytona, putting his name on a list of legendary names here in NOSSCAR. That's going to do it, folks. That was it. Round 1 is in the history books for the 4th season of the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5 and will be broadcasted to you live on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. From all of us here at NASCAR, we are saying so long and stay, well, usually we say stay fast, folks, but in these crazy times, we'd like to remind everybody to stay healthy and stay safe out there.